Radical and Maury and I are hanging out here on this Friday morning, and we have your F My Life's coming up after music from POD, and not the newest music, but they do have new music, Maury.
Oh,
yeah. But we do have F My Life's, and I do have a very special Friday edition FML news story to share with you.
okay.
So if this was an email sent to me, Maury, it would say, "Beef, I went hiking with my friends, did mushrooms, and then called 911 to report that my friend was dead.
Oh no,
He was still alive." F my life. This happened in upstate New York, and some hikers thought it would be a good idea to go hiking, enjoy some nature, and accentuate the experience.
exactly.
A little psilocybin magic, right? Which, has been done before,
Yes.
in small doses. You don't want to overdo it while doing like extra,
In the
major
forest.
exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In a forest, sitting around a campfire, maybe, right? But like hiking and doing all this and wandering around, you're begging for a disaster to happen. So that's what happened. The road trip ended with a bad trip, however, and some of the friends then called 911 to report to authorities that one of their friends was dead.
Oh no.
Yes. So obviously they were tripping hard thinking their friend died.
Yeah. What did he see? Like little X's on his eyes or something?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. No, so when a park ranger arrived on the scene, it was clear that the hikers were in an altered state of mind. So they called the friend who had supposedly kicked the bucket, and he was alive and well. The shroom-enhanced hikers were then taken away by ambulance and introduced to friendly representatives from the New York State Police. So not great. Yes, but the good news and the silver lining is the friend, of course, was alive the entire time. But they got so high that they just thought he died. I don't even know in this story. It's hard to piece together whether the friend was involved in the hiking and the mushrooms with them.
He's like literally at home on his couch just hanging out, and they're like, no, that guy, I can feel it. He's dead.
Yeah. So while I'm in the middle of the woods, let's break out my phone, call 911. It's like, cool story, bro. I mean, if it's on a crime scene or an emergency, just like, hey, like somewhere out there, my friend is dead. Like, in this county? Yeah.
They're caring friends.
Yeah. But so having a bad trip, that's such a bad trip that you have to call 911 on yourself inadvertently is definitely an FML.
Mhm.
And that's your FML news story of the day. But your emails are even wilder. And we're going to get to those right after our live, which is dedicated to the friend.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's POD on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go.
Did you get caught self-loving by your mom?
Awkward.
It is awkward.
Did you do something that got you fired from your job?
I just get stupider.
It's fun being stupid.
Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600 KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of your F My Lives. These Friday F My Lives are so nice. We'll do it twice. We'll do it in the 8 o'clock hour as well because I've gotten so many emails I want to get to before vacation. You can keep them coming. Beefvegan at KFMA.com. Don't forget the subject line FML. And if you give us a call on the air and we agree your life is effed, we'll hook you up with a $20 gift certificate to Catalina Craft Pizza located on Oracle, north of McGee. We also have tickets to give away for the Diamondbacks today, facing off against the Washington Nationals at 6:40 p.m. So maybe we'll give you those if your life is effed. You ready for this, Mari?
I'm ready.
All right, first email, let's see, sent to me by Kiera. Kiera said, I once tried to seductively toss my hair while flirting. You ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
My scrunchie snapped off, flew across the room, and hit a stranger's baby. The baby cried. So did I. F my life. What do you say?
Yeah, you don't want to hurt innocent little babies. And those hair ties are squirrely, right? They'll go off in all different directions.
Yeah. You're lucky you didn't take out a baby's eye, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So do we say big baby because it involved the baby, or do we say F my life because it involved the baby?
I'm going to say F my life.
That's fair enough. I do say F my life, too. Again, and whenever you accidentally hit a baby in the face, that's an F my life.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Mateo sent me this next email, beefvegan at KFMA.com. Today I had to explain to my idiot son and his idiot girlfriend that an X does not mean negative when it's on a pregnancy test. An X on a pregnancy test is actually a plus, which means positive.
Oh, and how old is his son?
Who knows? He did
seems
not
young.
include that, but they were both dumb enough to confuse a plus with an X. So,
oh, my God.
yeah.
That's bad.
Yes, F my life.
Absolutely.
I told you these were doozies. and
Oh,
we'll do
that's
it.
a big doozy.
Yeah, we're gonna run it back in 8:00 hour too with more because I'm like, I don't even know which ones to pick. All right. Next up, my life sent to me by Brandy. Brandy said, yesterday after 3 years, I saw my ex, who I still love, at a coffee shop. Being nice, I said hi. He turned around, looked at me, and said, "Thank God I broke up with you. You look like a hot mess." Before getting up and walking out with his model girlfriend.
Oh my God, that's brutal.
Is it brutal? Yeah.
I kind of want to say Big Baby though, because that guy is clearly a complete horrible person.
Why do the bad guys always get the model girlfriends then?
Not for long. She wants money. I don't know. Like he can't be happy.
Yeah.
Like you dodged a bullet, girl.
That's very supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's enough my life because it's soul crushing, but very supportive, Mari. Nobody wants to hear that, Mari.
No.
You know what I mean?
true.
Yeah. Like if you were in that situation, but I do agree with Mari on all fronts there, Brandy. Like, yes, you deserve better. And you go get it, girl. And yes, it was a bad day to skip showers, huh? All right. Next up, my life sent to me by Colton. He said, yesterday I found the family's pet hamster under my mattress. He's been missing for 6 months.
Oh no. Does that mean that he's
Oh, he didn't start a little hamster sanctuary underneath the mattress there, Mari.
Oh no.
Or a hamster farm.
Oh, that's such an FML.
Yes.
They're tricky places and they get out, you know?
They're done so.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, I remember my daughter at a very young age, she was like 2 or 3. Her mom got her a hamster for
Oh my
whatever.
gosh.
I know, so stupid, dude. It's a high maintenance pet, and I'm working 2, 3 different jobs and stuff. I'm not necessarily responsible at this age. I'm barely being able to keep my daughter alive, and then they just say they're going to keep it at your house. I'm like, what?
Oh.
What? Yeah. So my daughter at first, whenever I see my daughter's face, I remember the hamster, right? And then she goes away for the weekend. I forget the hamster. Yes, I forgot about the hamster because it was a new thing and I wasn't used to that. So I go in and I'm like, oh, I should probably check on the hamster after a couple days.
Oh no. It was gone?
Feet up in the air.
Oh no.
Yeah.
For just 2 days though.
Yeah, man, no water. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they kind of do need that.
They need a lot of that, apparently. I had no clue. I was young. Don't come at me. I'm not a monster, I swear.
Oh, no, you're not.
I have not bought another hamster since, and I mourn that hamster every single day. I feel Colton's pain on this, and I'm going to say super F my life.
Oh, super duper, especially for you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to email back and hook him up with tickets for the Dimebacks to clear my conscience, and hopefully Lord will forgive us both.
Yeah, well.
Whew. Yeah, I'm sorry I drudged that up. Final F my life of the day sent to me by Tessa. Tessa said, "Beef, my boyfriend broke up with me after finding out that I opened an OnlyFans account. F my life." What do you say here, Mari?
I'm going to go with Big Baby because you're about to make some big bucks.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's not that easy, Mari, or everyone would do it.
I don't know. That one guy, Sean Gatz, just bought a Lamborghini.
Yeah, but not everyone is Sean Gatz. Sean Gatz is internet gold because he was a good-looking man at base, and then, is a well-communicator, and his face and all the tattoos are shock content. So you immediately see him, click on it, whatever. There's a lot of beautiful women out on the internet, and not all of them can make profitable OnlyFans. And I know that we probably have women listeners out there that experiment with OnlyFans and then just stopped because they weren't getting the income engagement that, they were somewhat promised.
Yeah, but I might be hopeful for this person, and I'm going to say, you got this, girl.
You know what? I'm going to do one better. I'll
Oh.
email her back, ask what the account is, and subscribe.
That's
There you go.
sweet.
Supportive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll even send some tips.
Wow.
Yeah. So cheer up, Tessa. It's going to be fine. I will have a list of certain specific requests. So just be ready to follow up with that. Keep those emails coming. BeFegan at KFMA.com. We got more coming up after some old school music from Led Zeppelin. It's Rock 102.1.
No.
All right, we are back live on the podcast broadcast. Of course, Mari and Yas Money. Herb Stratford's going to be joining us in a minute.
Herb.
Camera does look like the P. Diddy fisheye lens right now, does it not? Do me a favor, Yas. Look at the camera and do one of these thought I told you that. I won't stop. Yeah, I can't stop. Won't stop. You heard this week that he had a weird applesauce obsession, did you not?
Yes.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll tell you.
I've been away from everything.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Well, I'm going to fill Yas Money in on all the Diddy drama, but we got Mari and Yas Money in on the podcast broadcast. Of course, Saturday, our boys from the Tucson Roadrunners return home at the TCC.
Tucson Sugar Skulls.
Tucson Sugar Skulls. Whoops.
What's wrong with you?
Freudian slip.
Wow.
I should have been reading your shirt. All right.
No, it's right
Don't
there.
look at my shirt. Don't look at my chest.
Tucson Sugar Skulls have a home game Saturday. Yas Money's going to give us the rundown on that when we return, but we are chopping it up here on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Be back with more after new music from The Funeral Portrait. Here's Holy Water on Rock 102.1. Did I mess up? What did I mess up?
Oh, no, I'm just saying hi.
Oh, okay. He's saying hi to everyone. I got greetings from Lake Pleasant. I got I got the email. I haven't responded yet. They invited me out to Lake Pleasant this summer.
Is that the
Wow.
place where you made that video? Or is that? No, that's not. Never mind. What was the video
It's Jay
about?
and Jenna.
What was the April Fool's joke that you got fooled on? Was that over at Lake Pleasant with the jet with the little hover thing on the? Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Way back when? Was it
Yeah.
a while ago?
Remember you called like the lake
Oh,
place.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that
So
Lake Pleasant?
no, that wasn't
No.
Lake Pleasant. That's a lake in that was Lake Tahoe. And so what she's talking about is there was this basically an AI video of sorts saying that there's hovercraft jet skis, and it went viral. And I felt like such an idiot, dude.
You did
I see it on Instagram, and I didn't even read the comments. In the comments, it literally just calls them out on it being fake. I just directly reach out to the place to ask them all about their
Oh my
hovercraft jet
God.
skis, and the guy was kind enough to call and everything, or to answer the phone and be interviewed, and then admitted that it was a joke. And I felt like such a moron. Then he's like, "Send me the video and send me the, the audio." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "I don't know if I want to, man." All I'm gonna be doing is like, "Hey, this idiot from Tucson thought this video was real." Yeah, brutal. So,
That
but
was the funniest thing.
I know, I know.
Felt for the ultimate. That was the beginning of like AI and type of like.
let's say it was the beginning of AI, so I feel less dumb, but I don't even know if it was the beginning. Now, I mean, we were talking and documenting all the advances within just last couple months of text to a video prompt, and how that's been evolving with Google VO is insane. So yeah, you can't trust anything you see nowadays. But I did get a message
Wonderful.
from James and Jenna inviting me out to Lake Pleasant. And they have a bunch of jet skis and have a business, and even inviting me out to their campgrounds
Oh,
and stuff, saying that
That
they'll
sounds like fun.
yeah, they'll hook it up. So they stay at Pleasant Harbor in their fifth wheeler, and they got all the hookups and stuff. And they have a buddy who manages Dylan's Bayou, who said he'd be happy to comp my meals for a weekend. If I give a little shout out on the podcast afterwards, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm starting with the podcast, the shout outs now.
Fifi, you gotta go.
Oh, yeah.
You need a tan.
No, I'm
He's got plans.
I'm gonna be tan by the time I return from Rocky Point, but I'm gonna be tan
You're
going into Rocky
to
Point
Puerto Peñasco.
on June 5th through the 9th with Rico for Circus Mexicans.
Bro.
Yes.
You and Rico.
No,
go
no.
on all these spicy vacations.
No, and then my
And all these
best
trips.
friend
my best friend,
my best friend Corey.
Rico.
I got girls with me. Here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That's Funeral Portrait. No, okay, so it's Rico, this is me and my bro dude, with 3 hot chicks. They're hot chicks I've known. Yeah, that I've known for a while. So Corey, Wendy, and Courtney, and we're all staying in the same place at Los Palomas together for 5 days. I think 5 nights.
You better be tan. You better be crispy when you come
So
back.
I said this on the air already, and I'll be quick, but before I go down, and especially the first summer tan,
Sure.
I spray tan before I go down to Rocky Point.
You're lying.
No.
No.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Because you have to have that base tan, and then of course you lather up with like sunblock and everything, and by the time the spray tan wears off, the real tan's already there.
What?
Yes, that's how it works for white people. You don't understand.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. So I will go down looking like Pauly D, right?
Well, first of all, you want to go down there and you don't want to look like a tourist.
Yeah, not at all.
Right.
Yeah, I want to
You'd
look
be
like
like-
I've been hanging out at the pool for months already,
You
even though.
want to know you're like, I own one of these condos.
Yeah. I'm not just renting. Yeah. No, I come down here. I spend 6 months here, 6 months in the States
Oh.
making my money, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to look like.
Right.
I'm going to look like I make money, and that's going to be part of the flex
You're
too.
so stupid.
And no, it's going to be good. And so, I've been losing weight, but I haven't really been working out. So it makes you look more toned when you're
Oh
tan.
my God.
You know, gordos look better tan, dude.
Gordo.
Yeah, that's what they say for large men. I mean, I see a big guy
You're
who's
a
super
little-
dark.
You're a little tortita.
Yeah, I'm a tortita. And but a tan tortita is mucho suave.
Ooh,
Oh,
a
yes.
little burnt tortita.
Ooh, no, I don't want to.
Toasted buns.
No, this year I'm going to get a short haircut, right? And so I'll be, in the pool
What's a
without
short haircut.
like practically bald. But I'll be sunblocking the back of my head like crazy. I'm not trying to get
you're gonna
sunburned.
take your hat off.
No.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Yeah, I'm going to. It's okay to take my hat off every now and then.
okay.
Rock 1 2.1. Who's this? Someone was calling, but they hung up. That's all right. We're going to get talking with Herb Stratford here in just a little bit. But, Yas Money is in studio, and the Tucson Sugar Skulls returning from a road trip, and they got a home game this Saturday
Yes,
at
sir.
the TCC. Tell me all about it, Yas.
They are going up against the San Antonio Gunslingers
Oh.
this Saturday at 6:05 over at the TCC.
What's our record, and what's the Gunslingers record?
You know what? That is a fabulous question. I do not have that information in front of me,
Okay.
but because we're busy out here. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
But we got $5 popcorn for all our fans. Just because we're trying to bring all those concession deals to all of our fans as well, and
Right.
it's gonna be a good time. It's military appreciation, first responder night. We're gonna be highlighting TPD. It's sponsored by Chapman Automotives. And so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good night.
Nice. What are like the family 4-pack prices and stuff like that? Because I know that the Sugar Skulls want like the families to come out and enjoy the
Sure.
indoor football.
So tickets are as cheap as $14, at the window as well. So come on out. I know it's hot outside on the weekends. Come on over to the TCC, enjoy a game, check out local sports, and let's go Sugar Skulls.
Yeah, and not only that, again, I can't stress and remind you enough that we are going to have the indoor football Super Bowl, which is not what they call it, right?
The
They'll get sued.
championship.
Championship game, which essentially is wink, wink, that here in Tucson for the next couple of years, starting this year. So
Right,
at the
so
end
this
of this
August.
season, this August, we're going to have the biggest game in arena football broadcasting all over the nation, happening right from Tucson. So get familiar with it, and then let's do some quote unquote big game parties in
yes.
August. I'm
Yeah.
ready to rage, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. And I'll be out there, celebrating like it's a tailgating and not Super Bowl partying, right? And I'll be tan doing it.
Yes.
Oh, the
Yeah.
tan.
See how I brought it all back? Let me show you something real quick, Yas.
Is
All
it
right.
you, tan?
No,
Oh.
it is me tan. Okay. This is what ChatGPT says I'm gonna be looking like in 10 years.
Oh.
This is me in 10 years, according to ChatGPT. And if you think that's a negative thing, it is not.
Is that Louis C.K.?
That's what she
right?
said. That's what I'm going to look like in 10 years, according to ChatGPT. But more importantly, Mari brought up this question and had me ask ChatGPT where it sees me in 10 years. And I was scared of what the answers are.
I don't like this.
Okay. It's not a rap song.
No.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. But I'm going to, I was pleasantly surprised. I was scared of what it would say. First off, I thought it'd be like,
First
dead.
of all, are you alive?
Yeah, I'm alive.
Okay.
Okay. And then now I have a different anxiety. Now I have to try to live up to what ChatGPT's expectations of me are going to be. I'm going to break down that list for you on the podcast broadcast. And when we return, film critic Herb Stratford is going to be in studio.
Herb.
That's right. He is going to be telling us all the things that we need to see here, over the weekend, whether in movie theaters, because it's a big movie season, or at home. But I want to remind you guys that Razor is out and about here doing a remote from 9 to 11 a.m. on Saturday. Actually, he's not out today. All right, I'll remind you that later. Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Back after music from Franz Fernandez of Rock 1 2.1 KFMA.
Franz?
Franz
the Franz
Fernandez
on there.
made it back in the list, and that's right
Wow.
after Soundgarden. I'm telling you, the playlist.
I love this.
Yeah. We're back to KFMA is back to the hybrid of rock alternative that made me want to be on the station when
Yes.
I was up in Phoenix for years. So I'm very excited about that. And I hope that the listeners are equally excited and continue to build up the buzz around what we got going on here. All right. Have you ever done, so I set this up as like a full segment. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm going to play it. I'm just going to directly play what we did early this morning because it was mind blowing what ChatGPT said about
I don't want
me.
to know. I don't want to know what it says about
Do
me.
you not like
I
the
hope you.
ChatGPT?
I don't like the
I
whole
don't use
AI
it.
thing.
Do you not use it either?
I only use it to
Work.
do work stuff.
Everything I do at work.
No, not everything.
I know, I
because I
know.
feel like that's cheating. But it's like
I
little
know.
social media things, like, hey, I need a quirky little caption, like something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But like anything else, like someone told me to ChatGPT what my surgery was, and I was
Whoa.
like, no,
Oh.
what's really wrong with me, chat?
Yeah, but you know what I did where ChatGPT came in handy? I had blood work done, right? When I was going to renewed health clinic.
Like
And
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I took pictures of my blood result test while I was waiting for a Slavana to come in to give me a breakdown. And I said, tell me what this means. And so when then she came in, I started telling her, I was like, yeah, I was going over the blood work and it looks like, my cholesterol is good. I got a little bit of bad cholesterol here, but this, this level's great. And boom, boom, boom. And she stops and looks at me and she's like, do you want a job? And I'm like, ChatGPT.
I just
She got
realized
so
that
mad.
I had to go to the ER on Saturday and we did all sorts of testing and I just got the results back and I was like, I'm not gonna read this.
Yeah, ChatGPT. Yeah, that's your doctor now.
I'll give him my login
Yeah.
to my portal.
Right. Liz said, I use ChatGPT only to help to find things in a 500-page book, which is a good one.
Okay.
And honestly, AI is scary, and I get it. And the way that it's advancing and how fast it's advancing, super scary. But what I made a point to Mari when I asked about this is not only do I, help get organized and then also research stuff for the show through ChatGPT, but it also is connected to this soundboard, right? And so it's been and it's seen everything on my podcast page and it hears everything.
Oh,
It's
man.
every fucking word. So it knows me so well that I asked it, what?
Ask it to not know me.
Yeah, I will. ChatGPT, please erase all the memories you have on Yas Money, except the hilarious
I
moments where she rizzes me. Not rizzes me, razzes me. Anyways,
Okay, compliments.
yeah. So listen to this. This is what I said. Just tell me what I'm going to be doing in 10 years. And I was terrified, but what it said leaves me with more anxiety.
Okay, what's it say?
Okay, check this out. Aquan 2.1. Man's Beef Vegan Presents. That, of course, was Limp Bizkit. And so I was talking to Mari off air after our last conversation talking about AI. And what did you bring up to me again?
There's like this prompt that you can ask it, like, where do you see me in 10 years? Or like, give me a photo of how you see me in the future, like based on our conversations, no sugarcoating.
Okay, yeah. And so, I'm fully convinced because I utilize ChatGPT AI. And honestly, you got to figure out more programs. I'm not as trustworthy as other programs to help get organized, to, troubleshoot, to, research and pull together content. So I've been using it pretty well. But more importantly, I feel like, because since we're, broadcasting through this video stream and through the board here in the sound, which is connected to my computer, I really feel like it is documenting everything that the audio is putting out through this board.
Absolutely.
It's listening to everything because the things it's been able to do when I'm like, give me a show description of the show for like a one sheet for corporate, and it would describe it like it's an avid listener. It's mind blowing what it's doing and kind of scary. So based off that, and I was kind of terrified for this, and I said, based off what you know about me, this is the prompt. Where do you see me in 10 years? This is what I asked ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It's kind of scary, right?
Oh, no.
All right, so this is what it said. All right, Beef, based on everything I know about you, your grind in radio, your love for comedy, your sharp instincts for pop culture, the way you blend satire with smart, engaging content, here's a real prediction, not a puff piece. This is what it's saying about me.
Not a puff piece.
Yeah.
I like the details.
Yeah. Where I see you in 10 years. Number one, nationally syndicated radio or streaming show.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. It says you're too fast, funny, and fearless to stay boxed in one market. Whether it's radio, satellite, or podcasting, you'll be hosting a syndicated morning or late night show that combines live callers, viral absurdity, irreverent interviews, and sketch style bits. Think Howard Stern meets Eric Andre, but still distinctively Beef Vegan Presents.
Wow. I like those two.
I mean, right now, I'm like, you my best friend, ChatGPT.
This is so nice.
I swear to God, I'm like, are we trying to date? Oh, because I will date you with this. Number 2, media brand manager. You'll be running your own media production company, not just making shows, but producing branded content, digital series, and licensing your own segments. You'll own your own IP and have younger creators pitching you their weird ideas. See, now this is where the anxiety starts kicking in, because I'm like, the expectations are high, ChatGPT.
Yes.
I don't want to let you down, but this is like a lot, dude.
This is a lot.
Right. Number 3, and it's not done, because
it kept going.
it gets bigger. Cultural contributor / satirical voice. You'll be quoted in articles, maybe even showing up on panel shows, because your ability to find the comedy in chaos will make you a go-to voice in moments when people need to both laugh and real talk.
Wow.
Hey, the one thing I do provide here to you, Mari, all the time is real talk.
Real talk.
It's,
Realist on the radio.
whether it's real dumb, real insightful, real crazy, it's real.
It is.
Right? Published author or comedy special. Again, this is like, I don't
You're
know
gonna be an
about
author?
that. I don't know, man. I can barely read. So it says either a memoir packed with insane FML stories and career moments, or streaming comedy special that's part stand-up, part sketch, part breakdown of the dumbest news headlines of the decade. I've seen that before. I don't know if I would do that, ChatGPT. I don't want to,
You got the stories, though.
Yeah. And then number 5, still in Arizona, but only part-time. Right? You'll have a place in Tucson or Phoenix because the Southwest runs in your blood. And you know that, ChatGPT.
Yes,
I am a son of the Sonoran Desert. I love it.
Desert rat.
Yeah, but you'll also be traveling for festivals, speaking gigs, or just get into trouble in other time zones.
Oh.
All right? And say, and then it concludes. It's not even done, dude.
Wow. He's
Yeah.
very sweet.
Oh my God, I could have asked it to it. And real talk, whether or not fame in the mainstream sense ever happens, you'll have a cult following, a fiercely loyal one, the kind that wears your quotes on t-shirts and tells their friends, you don't know beef vegan, you're missing out.
Wow.
Amazing, right?
Mhm.
And then it asked me if it wants to write my Wikipedia intro from the year 2035.
Wait.
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yes.
That's legit.
It's legit. I didn't get to that, but then I did ask what the other prompt was.
Yeah. So make a photo of me, how you see me in the future, like no sugarcoating.
You want to see that photo?
I do. I'm
Okay.
dying to see it.
And you'll be able to see, you guys will be able to see it as well on the podcast broadcast
Whoa.
later. That's
that looks
where it
like Louis
sees me.
C.K.
It
though.
does. Well, yeah, I'm going to look like Louis C.K. That's just how it happens. Chubby, doughy white guys with insecurities and weird fetishes.
Wow. That's true. But I like your cup. Radio's last real one.
Ah, look at that. All right.
The accuracy.
All right. You'll be able to see that image on the podcast broadcast, which will have Yas Money and Herb Stratford in today. So make sure you stick around for that. But yeah, it is mind-blowing, really strange and weird. And I'll write that, or I'll have it write the Wikipedia intro from 2035. I'll share that in the podcast broadcast as well. But there you go. That prompt seriously is crazy. And my number one listener is not Manny, which I love very
Oh, we
intensely.
love him.
Apparently, ChatGPT took that honor. So, step it up, Manny, huh? All right, we are back here. Got the Herb Stratford guy, Yas,
That is a different
all chilling here, and that was the prediction. So eerie stuff, right? And yes, you guys are the cult followers, and I love that. And I cult in the best possible way. All right, yeah, cameras adjusted. Here we go. All right, and we're gonna get on the air here in just a little bit, but I did promise little Franz Ferdinand, so I'll how about we pop on for a teaser as we'll talk about. You said the A24 film is the one that freaked you out, right?
Oh man.
Okay. Good.
I gotta record
This movie is just, it's brilliant, but it's so disturbing. I had to see another movie because I would have had nightmares.
Okay, good. Well, that's exactly the tease that we're going to put on the air here. Soundgarden's wrapping up, and I'll play Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand. And it's good to see you on the stream there, Clarissa. All right, let's do this. All right, Rock 102.1 KFMA. We got Herb Stratford in the studio. Good morning, Herb.
Good morning.
All right, there was a film that you watched that was so disturbing that you needed to watch something immediately after to cleanse the palate so you would not see it again? Or not think about it?
No. Well, just so I'd be able to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Because it's pure nightmare fuel. So yeah, it's an incredibly disturbing, powerful film.
And what's the name of that film?
It's called Bring Her Back.
Okay, so Bring Her Back. We're going to watch the trailer and listen to Herb's review on the podcast broadcast. And we'll be back with more what's coming to movie theaters this week and streaming services, including a doc about a musician that's so huge you may consider him a douche. All that more coming up after Music for Fans Fertidad. But you can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. It's the podcast broadcast.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Bono.
Oh.
Yeah. See, are you a fan of Bono?
First of all, no, I thought you were going to talk about Pee-wee's.
We did watch it. And
I saw it. I loved it.
Yeah, so
I loved it.
That's why I made all those Mount Rushmore images on my social media, because then it made me think, because Pee Wee Herman's so iconic, right?
I love that man.
And a guy who literally would peaked his career from January 1st, 1980 to January 1st, 1990. That entire decade he ran, and then of course then it went into all the scandal and stuff, and then comebacks and scandal. But with that, you can't think of the 80s without Pee Wee Herman. So if you're going to put together your Mount Rushmore of pop culture figures from the 1980s, and which you remember vividly, Herb, because you were 80 in the 80s, who would you put on there?
Well, I think it would definitely, you're right, it would definitely be Pee Wee. I mean, I feel like you've got to have somebody from music in there. So in my mind, that's Bono, because that's U2. The 80s belonged to U2.
Okay, and that's true. Bono wasn't mentioned by anyone on our panel at the time, but that does make sense.
And then let's see. It's before the era of the super chef, so there's no chefs in there. There's really no reality TV in the 80s. I mean, I guess you might have, was Ozzy? Was the Osbournes in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, it was in the 90s.
So that doesn't work.
Yeah, you'll see. Here was my list.
Yeah, show me.
So Pee Wee, Mr. T, Hulk Hogan, and then Alf. Right? That was me personally. I loved Alf.
All right.
Then Rico said Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Rambo, and Scarface, because he's just trying to emulate Scarface. I'm like, Scarface was a movie, and I guess it's iconic and it's a cult classic, but it didn't dominate the 80s.
I give you Eddie Murphy, though. If you're going to talk about one comedian who owned the 80s,
yes, Eddie Murphy for sure. Valdez said Pee Wee, Mr. T. This was Kenny Loggins. And Steven Spielberg. Right? And then we had this females. So Felicia. She said, this was Cyndi Lauper, even though it looks like Dolly Parton.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. This was Madonna, even though it looks like Scarlett Johansson. This
AI.
Yeah. This is Margot, or what is her? Molly Ringwald?
No.
Yeah, I know.
Not.
I know. And then this person.
Max Headroom.
Yeah. So, and then I had people, this was Derek's. He would have said Patrick Swayze, Mr. T, Robin Williams, and Madonna.
That's pretty good.
That looks more like Madonna there.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you had to give ChatGPT a little breather. The first image nailed it, and then the more I asked, back to back, they kept messing it up, and then bam. A couple hours later, I asked it again, and here we are. So, all right. But yeah, so I'll make your Mount Rushmore image if you want, and you said Bono.
Yeah, let's do Bono. Let's do Eddie Murphy, and let's do who else did I say? I said somebody else. No, I hate
no, and then that was the 90s.
Yeah.
Now one with
Wow.
Bono, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Yas Money's just learning so much more about me. She's not a fan anymore.
Yeah.
Bono, Eddie Murphy,
the 80s. Quintessential pop culture 80s.
I think I would go with Patrick Swayze too, because really, when you think about Dirty Dancing and all the stuff that Swayze was, I mean, whatchamadiddingy, Red Dawn. I mean, come on, I just watched that again for the 400th time.
Right.
Who else? So that's like film and comedy and music.
And then one more.
Need somebody from TV. I guess Eddie's sort of TV, but not really.
All right, you're taking a long time.
Sorry, I don't know. I hate you.
They say history.
He's gonna say Bill Cosby.
Yeah, you're gonna have to say Bill Cosby now, right? Someone TV iconic from the 80s. We're putting together Herb Stratford's.
We gotta cancel. Yeah, cancel Mount Rushmore. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, well,
No, I'm gonna go with Spielberg. I agree with Rico on that one.
No, it wasn't Rico. It said
Oh.
Spielberg, and
No.
I'm not allowing Spielberg. In fact, your Mount Rushmore, all you're doing is replacing basically our other Mount Rushmores with Bono. So you just want to add Bono.
Yeah, let's
to
make
this.
it 5. Let's just do 5. Yeah.
No, we're not naming Mount. What are you? Now you sound like the president, right? We are Mount Rushmore is 4, and we're sticking with it, right?
All right.
We're live here on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Let's talk about films that are happening, and I did tease that we're going to talk about Bring Her Back on the podcast broadcast, but we got sidetracked. So let's talk about it right now. This movie is an A24 film that freaked you out so much that you needed to immediately watch a different film just to cleanse your palate and
Just
be
to
able
go
to
to
sleep at
sleep.
night.
I did. So, and I watched this at 8:30 in the morning. So, I mean, it's pretty early to watch it. But all right, so this you may remember the guys who did. There's a pair of Australian brothers. They did the movie Talk to Me, which was about that corpse hand that if you touched it, then you would like sort of see crazy stuff and hear things. It was just like a really disturbing film. Anyway, this is their follow-up, and it is the story of 2 kids, mostly blind Asian girl and her slightly older teenage brother. Their dad dies, and they get stuck in foster care, which of course is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
But Sally Hawkins plays this incredibly creepy mom who basically wanted the little girl, but she didn't want the brother. And it becomes apparent that, she has lost a daughter that also was blind. So something's going on here that's very odd. But the weird part is there's this other kid at the house who is mute. And that's who you see in the posters with the shaved head, really creepy. And she keeps him locked up. So there's some weird stuff going on. And this movie literally, disturbing is the best word I have for this movie. And that's not in a bad way, right? Like, usually I like really smart horror films like It Follows or, The Witch or things like that. This one is a little more gory, a little more jump scary, but damn does it deliver. This movie is insane. It's haunting. And, and of course I always want to recommend people go to Roadhouse, but I don't know if you're going to eat. I'm not sure this is the movie to see at Roadhouse. I'm just going to tell you. It's
that freaky.
It is. It is that freaky. And it just, literally I was yelling at the screen, which I never do.
And luckily you're doing a screening by yourself because you're the Roadhouse official critic. Did management come in, tell you to keep it down, or they're going to kick you out?
No. But I'm telling you, this is an insane movie. It is crazy. And it's 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's had a good kick out of the box office. Of course, we're still in the Mission Impossible, Lilo and Stitch world.
Mission Impossible kind of didn't live up to expectations. Not a flop, but didn't live up to expectations.
Well, I think the bar's too high.
Yeah.
Wait, did you watch Lilo and Stitch?
No. Still haven't seen it.
Yeah, have you?
Yes, I did.
And did you love it?
I prefer the cartoon.
Oh!
No.
We call her
I did
Hot
like
Take
it.
Yas
No,
Money
no,
here.
no, I
Hot
did-
Take Yas Money just got canceled by Disney.
I did like it. No, I did like it, but I like
Oh, it's
like
a classic, the cartoon. I know.
And that's fair, dude. The live remakes usually never live up to the original, right?
So it was very sweet. It was. My kid cried. I almost cried. It was fine.
Okay.
If it made me cry, we're fine.
Okay, what about the Stitch character? Did it look like the cartoon? Did it look like a real Stitch?
Yeah, it was sassy.
Which one is? Yeah, I asked you 2 questions. Which one would you lean towards?
No,
Look like
it
a cartoon?
It looked real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you
It
want
lived
one
up to
in
it.
real life?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, then
I'd make it hate you.
Then Disney, I know. Then Disney has done its job because movies like this are specifically designed just to market, and consume. So yes, like Lilo and Stitch are like, hey, let's sell more of these things. Let's live make it, remake it, and make another $1 billion.
How many of those things I have in my house
Already?
Oh.
What, immediately after?
No,
like you rushed out and grabbed some?
Brooklyn's been on it for 2 years already before the movie, so this only made it worse.
Yeah. How many plushies do you have of The Rock?
No comment.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's one of those Japanese love pillows. That's what she has.
It's a body pillow.
Let's talk about a new concept of a film that, you started off as an original, had a couple sequels, and then had a reboot. All right. Then, kind of died off, and then was kind of brought back as a TV series, first on YouTube, then on Netflix, and then
Too much.
taking all of those IPs, putting them all together and saying, how do you like this, super geeks? Karate Kids Legends. Or it's Karate Kid Legends.
Karate Kid Legend.
Even though there's multiple
yeah.
kids in this scenario.
Well, there's one kid you're mainly following. So,
Okay.
yeah. So basically, again, this is, Ralph Macchio's back. this film was greenlit and was filmed before the end of Cobra Kai. So he fought very hard to not have the film be released before the last season of Cobra Kai got released because, that wouldn't make sense. And you'd see things because honestly, stick around to the end because there is a cameo at the end that you're going to want to see if you're a fan.
Okay.
But this, basically I don't want to say we're rebooting it, but in essence we are because we're taking the Jackie Chan trained kids of the spinoff in 2010 after the first original in the 80s.
Yeah.
We're basically merging those into the Mr. Miyagi, Ralph Macchio world. So you got this kid, his mom takes a job. She's a doctor, she leaves Shanghai, China. He doesn't want to leave. He's a big karate guy. He's got a little tragedy in his past. His mom moves him and her to New York. He's getting away from all of his family, his friends. And of course, there's some karate bullies in New York. There's karate bullies everywhere.
I know. All these bullies know karate.
And so, and of course, he meets a cute girl, and her dad is played by Joshua Jackson, and he's a former boxer. And so he starts training the cute girl's dad because he wants to get close to the girl. And then meanwhile, he's getting beat up by the local bullies, and he promises mom he wouldn't fight again. And he's got a signature move he's working on,
it's like a super crane kick, is it?
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you end up with the expected. There's he gets to the finals of the 5-borough, fight between, to be the king karate guy. And it's on the top of this building, and it's going to come down to one more blow, and who's going to win? Who do you think? Right?
Yeah.
But when Ralph shows up on screen, I got to say, about 45 minutes in, you're like, awesome. All right, Ralph's here. This is a legit joint. We're good. So it's good. It's a summer movie. If you're a Karate Kid fan, check it out. It's not groundbreaking. It's not super exciting. It's 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a little bit low.
It's nostalgia. It's a popcorn flick. Yep. It's people are enjoying it. It looks like our streamers want to see it. They're excited about it. So yeah, if you want to go in, a guaranteed feel good movie, give you the nostalgia, give you the feels, kind of push a narrative forward. And if it's not broke, don't fix it type deal, right?
Well, and also the interesting thing that I noticed and some other people have commented on too. The way it's edited for a different generation. It looks like a TikTok video, right?
No.
There's lots of sweeps, there's lots of split screens. So it's like, it's a little jarring, because you're not used to that, but I'm sure for the audience, that's exactly what they want to see.
Right. They're trying to get the new generation, so they got to dumb it down and keep it as ADD as possible. Every 3 seconds. Look at this. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, and no, we're doing a dance. Did they do a dance?
I feel like that would be right up your alley, Beef.
That's not true. I'm a fan of Scorsese and his long drawn out work. Sure. I mean, it took me a year to finish The Irishman, but I finished it.
You did.
Because you needed all those transitions and movements and dances and stuff.
Oh, I do like dances. All right. We have more with film critic Herb Stratford coming up next on Beef Vegan Presents, keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, which you can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. All right. And real quick, Todd, are you still on the stream? I hope you're still on the stream because I did this for you. Nope. Oh. Never mind. Couldn't it violates our content policy. What? So, when we're talking Mount Rushmore, right? And Todd's like, he named the Ninja Turtles. So I'm like, now do one with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And ChatGPT said it can't because it violates our content policies, right? And I'm like, well, what about, I did one for, with Chef Christian Badia, saying his name wrong, said Johnny 5 on my Instagram story. So I did one of 4 Johnny 5s. Oh, shit. I thought initially it was only 3 Johnny 5s. It gave me 4 Johnny 5s here from Short Circuit. Yeah.
I hated that movie. Oh my God.
I don't know
that is so weird that it did that now because the original picture that I posted on my Instagram was only 3 Johnny 5s. So it finished the prompt when I was away. Anyways, doesn't matter.
I've walked out of 2 movies in my career, in my life, Short Circuit and Three Amigos.
The first Short Circuit? It wasn't even Short Circuit 2.
No.
So you didn't even get Johnny 5 is Alive or nothing like that? It rhymed. Super catchy.
Hated it.
Killjoy. Do you remember that movie?
No.
See?
She's so gangster. All right, what about Blood In, Blood Out? Did you watch that movie?
I did recently. Changed my life. I was like, you know what? Had I seen this sooner as a kid, I probably would be different.
Oh, yeah? You think what? You would not be in a gang?
She's in a girl gang.
I know. And so the Sugar Skulls, that looks a pretty gangster shirt right there. I like how they go old English. You're like, how can we make this
I made
scream
it.
Tucson? You did it? Yeah. You were wearing the slippers with the socks and everything, right? You went full blown Chola style back in the day.
What do you mean? Stop talking about me.
Okay. How high was your bangs?
Oh, they were pretty high.
Yeah, right. These are all like the women I crushed on growing up. You know what I mean? Those are my girls, right? That's our generation. I'm like, girl, did you see that? Oh, Melissa's so hot. Her bangs are at least 14 inches high.
That lip liner was so dark.
Eyeliner, she's going so through. All right, yeah, is going to work right now and tripping on camera. Don't worry, we're just going full screen for that.
Bye, Yas.
Yeah. I assume she'll be back. All right. You know what? Let's switch camera views then. So I like to get in your nostril shots here. What's the buzz on Jurassic Park in July? Because Lynn's super excited to see that.
It's hard to tell because there hasn't really been any advanced screenings. And I mean, I think people are super excited now because it feels a little bit like there's a fresh take on it. Because if people don't know, the concept is this is the bad island. This is where they did a lot of experiments and they put the dinosaurs that were not going to make the cut. So the first dinosaurs were scary. These are messed up dinosaurs.
Oh, so they're like genetic freaks.
Well, yeah,
like Island of Dr. Monroe type stuff.
Yeah. And you've got a great cast, right? Because you've got Scarlett Johansson, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you've got a couple other great people in it. So there's a lot of buzz about this one because I think that last trio, the last three of them, were getting a little tired.
Yeah.
And so now we're back. We're not like, oh, there's dinosaurs and we're coexisting with dinosaurs. No, we're not. This is back to an island where you're screwed. So
why are they there though? Why do they go?
Of course, there's always something there they've got to get. And then of course some stupid tourists end up, they've got to protect the tourists.
Yes,
and they're all going to be red shirts. They're all going to get eaten.
Right. Yeah. They just released the second trailer for this about 10 days ago. Whoops. Let's show some of this, what Herb was talking about here. You got to sign a waiver to be here?
I almost ate.
Well, I know. Don't worry. We all saw that, and I'll make a clip of that later.
If you do.
That's a new TikTok dance.
Oh, wait.
do the Yas Money.
Look at it. It did. My Crocs did me dirty. It got stuck on the little
Oh, no.
On the hook from Mater's little tow truck
Yeah,
hook.
this is the Yas Money dance. Yeah, I like it.
Oh.
I like it because I came up with it. Don't stab me, Yas Money. So these are all freak dinosaurs, new ones, swimming T-Rexes. I still don't see feathers, so I'm a little
You're not
disappointed.
buying it? You're
not buying it. They literally just found a dinosaur's tail intact just recently, this last week or two.
What?
It's all feathers, yeah.
Really?
And it was Jurassic Park style. It was preserved in amber. And feathers are a little different than we know them, but of course it's preserved in amber, so they don't know exactly how they would fluff up, and I'm sure they're working on it.
Wait, I have a question.
Go for it.
Death by dinosaur?
Would I do it?
Yeah. If you had to go out one way.
No, I don't want to be death by any animal. I don't want to end up shit.
First of all, I said that in front of the guy that I'm dating and like his friends, and I'm thinking like, well, this is my personality. I love like the whole idea of dinosaurs, right? Obsessed with Godzilla, all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So we saw the trailer for Jurassic Park, and I was like, Death by Dinosaur, and they were like, Death by Dinosaur is crazy. And I was like, listen, it's a conversation starter. You could be like, oh my gosh, how did Yasmin die? Dude, a dinosaur.
You would love that.
And I'm thinking, and nobody laughed except for the guy that like I'm seeing. And I'm thinking like, oh, his friends must think like, who is this?
Right.
That'd be a good band name.
Autistic girl.
Death by Dinosaur. Hardcore. Sunday is actually National Dinosaur Day. So
Really?
someone polled over 5,000 Americans and asked them, would you go to a real life Jurassic Park? So that question I'm asking to you as well. So Mari, would you go to a real life Jurassic Park?
No.
No? Okay. Yas?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And Herb?
Absolutely.
All right. So you guys are in the minority, and Mari is in the majority. Only 29% said yes, definitely. 50% said no way. I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
Doesn't end well. 21% would have to think about it, and that's probably like budgeted out. I imagine it's going to be more expensive than Disneyland.
I would give you
Mars.
all of my credit cards.
All of them.
All the max ones? Like, you live a super, like, I have a bunch of credit cards life, you know?
No.
Every time I see you're on another adventure, and I'm like, well, it's a credit card.
Well, there's some adventures I don't show.
Oh. Yeah. So, yeah, that just so
That's pretty interesting. And I would say that I feel like knowing how these things go, I would be able to avoid a lot of those dino mistakes. So I'm feeling like one of my
what's a dino mistake that people normally make that you wouldn't do?
Yeah, what would you avoid?
I want to touch it.
I don't know, like getting out of the car when the power goes down. I don't know.
Stay in the car.
I just feel like,
There's just, you know who needs to attend these parks? People with common sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
but have you seen people? I mean, how? Like those wildlife parks where you just drive through them? You see people being morons of that all the time.
Oh my gosh, did you hear about the guy who took his clothes off at Disneyland and went up the Tiana Palace or whatever it's place, one of the restaurants?
I didn't. I usually maybe I did, but keep going. What else do you know about Naked Man?
They did it twice.
Oh, he did it twice.
Someone did, yeah. I don't know if it was the same person, but it was 2 different occasions.
And so he went up to what, the Lifelike, is it Lifelike?
No. It's a restaurant.
Okay.
It was a restaurant.
It was like the VIP restaurant, right? Like a hidden restaurant?
No, it was
Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland.
Okay. Because usually it's Disney World because it's a Florida thing.
It's a Florida thing.
Yeah.
True.
What was his purpose of getting naked and go up there? Is he
You
dry
know
humping
what?
anything?
They really kept it low.
Okay.
Disney did their thing.
Did this happen when you were there?
This happened, no, I think maybe the week after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she low-key gets to visit Disneyland. You know, all these radio people actually just went, oh, yeah.
No,
You
all
look
your
pretty
radio
today,
people,
yeah,
all
yeah.
your radio people went.
Okay, all my radio people went. So, like, everyone
Except for you.
in the industry, right?
Yeah.
And we have people here in this building. So, because Disneyland's doing a big push for their anniversary, 70th anniversary, right? And so part of that is, we have tickets give away, but not necessarily KFMA. Mix does. And it's all branded, and they're very particular of who says their name.
Wow.
But with that, you know, considering they're doing this promotion, all this trade out with all these radio stations and influencers all over the country and the West Coast, they invite, the radio DJs to come for free to explore the park, and they put them up for a night, and all expenses paid, right? I've been wanting to do that forever and bring my daughter, because I haven't brought my daughter to Disneyland, and they keep promising that it's going to happen, but then Disney's like, nah, fuck this guy. And I blame the mouse.
I get
But
it.
Oh, you get it.
I feel like, but
We gotta
okay,
get on
like,
there.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What are you saying, Yas Money?
I feel like it is, they take all these influencers out there and they're working. Like you're showing that you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
And they're
posting, yeah.
posting, they're
I do
working,
that.
they're making the reels, they're doing, I mean, you could totally do that.
I know. No,
That's
I know.
insane.
I put my name in the hat. They just keep taking it out of the hat. So maybe I've been banned and I don't even know it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it.
Were you
but
Shadow
banned
ban.
from Disney?
Shadow ban.
No, I haven't been
Did
to
you piss off
Disneyland.
the mouse?
I probably
Oh,
just by
no.
talking, but I haven't been at the actual park since I was like 12 years old.
Wow.
I know.
What?
I know.
Dude, you're overdue.
I know.
Because literally the Star Wars
Oh,
and the
yes.
Galaxy's Edge, and then even the Indiana Jones ride is insane.
I know, but I've been broke, and you hearing that, Disney? And I have a following. You know how many people are on the stream right now? 22.
Aren't you going to Mexico for 2 weeks? You could have gone to
No, not
Disneyland.
2 weeks. Oh, first off, okay.
Could have.
I like my Cerveza more affordable, so I go to Rocky Point, and it's a shorter road trip. All right, we got one more thing to talk about that's coming to Apple Plus TV, and Herb Stratford is a massive fan.
It's true.
Yes,
I
of
will-
Bono and U2, but you grew up in that era, so don't blame you.
No,
I do
no,
not
no.
blame you.
No. And honestly, I think like the Unforgettable Fire tour, I think I saw him 5 or 6 times. I went to LA, I went to Vegas, I went to Phoenix. I mean, I was like a Grateful Dead fan. I was like following him around.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Bono wrote a book, and it's basically sort of like the story of all the sort of like 100 U2 songs or whatever. And then he did a tour. And so this is sort of a documentary sort of showing parts of that book tour, showing performances, him telling stories, telling about how songs came up with, how they came up with songs. So if you're a U2 fan, go. But if you hate Bono, why would you?
Yeah.
It is 73%, which seems about right for this kind of a thing.
Is it black and white during the entire thing?
Yeah.
What
It's
dick.
it's a little presumptuous.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Okay.
Dude.
I already hate it.
And I have a question.
Yeah, because it's art. It's black and white. Like, ugh.
But do they address when they forced a U2 song on your phone?
no, they don't.
Of course not.
What?
It was the iPod. It wasn't your phone.
No, it was your
It
phone.
was your phone.
Yeah, it was your phone.
I had it on
Yeah.
my phone. know.
Yeah,
I
we
I
all
didn't want
did.
it.
It was the worst decision in pop music history because it really turned an entire
It did.
generation against that band.
It did. It was absolutely
yes.
a fail.
But it made
Yeah.
them noticeable.
True.
Noticeable. They were already noticeable, right?
Well, not to me.
Yeah. Well, you knew who they were. Let me ask you this before you get in, and you tell me all the reasons why you love this. And I'm sure as a documentary and a storytelling piece with music, it seems like it kind of covers all the bases. Really pretentious to keep it in black and white all the way through. Really is. But as you being a former massive U2 fan, did you have the Bono glasses? Did you ever
No.
rock the Bono glasses?
Never rocked the Bono glasses. I
No?
always thought they were a little dumb.
Okay.
Sorry, Bono. I just they felt. And, I will say, like, I think Bono, as he gets older, and I think he's 65, as he gets older, he starts to mellow a little bit because he was really full of himself for a while, right? I mean, he had a big platform. He used it. And let's be honest, he did a lot of really good work, for getting Africa debt forgiven and AIDS stuff. And
Yes.
he did a lot of really important things for the globe. Now, it's hard to be humble when you're doing that kind of stuff. So I get it. But it's nice that he's sort of chilling out and he's not, maintaining that level of douchery. So
Yeah. All right. And so at no point during his conversations does it come off a little douchery.
I don't think so. I mean, but again, it's like if you already hate him, then you're going to think he's douchey. So
Were you watching this documentary with rose tinted glasses?
I was not.
If you did, you probably add a little color to it, probably make it better. Because I hate black and white. It's so current. And when he has all these nice lights and stuff, he almost looks like he's in the Las Vegas Sphere doing this. And you're like, cool, yeah, I don't want to see the Las Vegas Sphere in high definition. Thank you, Bono. So I could just focus on your words. Give me a break, dude.
You're jealous because you haven't been to the Sphere yet.
Or Disneyland.
That's true.
Or anywhere outside of the Sonoran Desert, dude. I am what is it? A
studio.
Gila
Desert
monster.
rat.
Yes, I am a desert rat.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap things up with the beef tip after these words, but there is something that's dropping on Max, starring Steve Carell, that we're gonna talk about on the podcast broadcast stream. You can join us youtube.com/beefvegan.
What is it?
It's called Mountain Head, and it is.
Look at you, like asking on the DL, but like we're talking about it. Yeah, you can ask out loud. You can say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's called Mountain Head, and I have to admit I did not like it.
Wow.
It's got this ridiculous cast: Steve Carell, Rami Youssef, Jason Schwartzman.
It seems like a great cast for
Is this
comedy.
the thing by the Succession guys?
Oh, maybe. I
It
don't
looks
know.
Succession.
It is.
What happened to
It
his
is.
teeth?
So it's these four tech bros, right? And they're up at like this,
It's on
Park
HBO,
City,
not
Utah,
Plus.
like this ridiculous house that Schwartzman has just finished, and they're all just just horrible people, right?
Mhm.
There's
Love
just
it.
Yeah, they're tech bros.
There's not a single redeemable character in this series or show. And it's just, and then so the world starts to sort of fall apart, not like nuclear holocaust, but like, a day in the Trump universe where like, markets are tanking and they're starting to like all these old sort of things are coming up like, well, you screwed me when you didn't buy my company and you need to sell this to me and my AI is better than yours. And so they're just miserable people. And then they treat the staff horribly. And you're just like, why am I watching these people behaving badly?
Because
So-
that's where we live and that's real life and that's really what's going on.
I know, but I didn't
love that?
I didn't like it.
No.
didn't like
I like Succession.
Oh no, I wish it
And
was
so
Succession.
it's from the same creators of Succession.
But it's just not. I mean, I
It's not even
love
close, huh?
Succession. Yeah, no.
Sometimes I listen to Herb and then I
Other
don't
times not.
Don't
wanna
agree.
listen to Herb.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You don't
want
want to hate it, but you might. He's giving you a heads up that you might end up hating this
I
really
might.
bad.
Well, the good thing is you can be at home and just turn it off. You didn't go somewhere. You know what I mean? To see it. So at least
He
it's
said,
on
"Thanks for
HBO
spoiling the show, dude."
Max.
Did you spoil the entire show?
No.
it's in
Oh.
the
It's literally-
trailer.
It's in the trailer.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to have anything spoiled? Watch the trailer. That's the way things roll right now.
Yeah. Well, you got to give it 80%
You gotta
as
watch
the
all
tease.
3 of the 2-minute trailers to get, see
Yeah.
the whole movie.
Exactly.
So Mountain Head's the name of that, and it's dropping. I mean, it is an impressive cast. I like seeing Yusuf, or what's his name?
Oh, yeah. Rami Youssef. He's
Yeah.
great.
I love
Yeah.
Remy.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's the best thing in it, honestly. But if you don't like Steve Carell, he's just obnoxious.
Very charismatic star. It's good to see Jason Schwartzman working again because it seems like he kind of like took a step back, right?
He did, and he does all the Wes Anderson stuff, and so you're kind of like, nice to see him
that's coming
not
out
do
too.
this. That's next weekend. Yeah, next weekend is the Phoenician Scheme, and there's one other thing that's a big thing. What is it? It is Ballerina, the John
Yeah.
Wick movie comes out next week.
Is there early buzz on that with Ana de Armas being an
Yeah.
action star?
Everybody's loving it. And then I also want to mention real quick that another thing that drops next week is Tires, which is the Shane Gillis series on Netflix.
Oh, Shane Gillis?
So if you haven't seen the first season, it's 6
I heard about it.
episodes.
Yes.
They're only like 22 minutes. It is hilarious. This season, I just finished watching it last night. There's 12 episodes.
Nice.
And it is so funny. Shane Gillis is just shameless. I mean, he is just there's no PC with Shane Gillis.
Did you feel more of a bro after you watch it? Do you feel like you're actually in like a broed?
So it's so funny you say that because I got access to it and I kept trying to watch it when my wife was around and she's like, I'm not watching that. It's a bro show. So she was at something last night. I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit there and power watch it. And I watched them all.
You loved
so
it.
great.
You're like, that's right. I'm a man and you love me for it.
It's really funny. So that comes out on on June 5th. So that's next Thursday, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I look forward to I saw the first 6 episodes and they were pretty good. They held up. It felt like a YouTube series, to be honest with you.
It did. It's very sort of low budge, but it's set in a tire store, and he and his cousin's the boss, and he's just sort of the smart talking guy, and it's really funny. Thomas Hayden Church plays his dad in this season. So
oh, nice!
It's great to have another sort of big character, and it's just so irreverent.
An OG bro.
Yeah. It's very good. So we'll talk about that more in detail next week. And then also coming up down the road is the Ocean Gate documentary. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that.
Oh,
that's for the sub?
But that's on Netflix. Yeah. That's the sub that imploded. So it's the first time we've had a documentary about that. And I think that's going to be a little hard to watch.
I know, dude. And then, don't we already know a lot? All we're going to find out from this documentary is knowing the people personally that were on board that made that like terrible, fateful decision, right?
But also, if you watch the trailer, like it shows the moment when the wife is like realizing what's going on. So they had cameras on everybody, and it's a messed up story, no matter how you slice it. I mean, it's a good reminder. Don't go into a home-built sub.
Yeah. I'm talking about the Ocean Gate documentary that's going to be dropping on Netflix here soon. It's Herb Stratford here on the broadcast. We're going to wrap things up here. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but I love you guys so much. And had a great first half of the year. Looking forward to the second half of the year, but we are going to be taking 2 weeks off. I have one more on-air shift that I'm going to be doing later on today as I do a live remote. JCA Jim Click Kia, that's Razors. I'm going to be out there somewhere. Just keep listening to KFMA. I don't even know where I'm going, but I'll be there.
That's a good plug.
Yeah, thanks.
For sure.
I'll give more details on that.
I won't be there.
You should be there. It's going to be amazing. All right, let me get into this beef tip. And my beef tip is a bittersweet, okay? There are 4 different notable psychics throughout history that predicted that the apocalypse is going to happen before the end of this year. Baba Vanga, Nostradamus, Anthos Salome, and Nicholas Ahula. They all made predictions, as you can imagine. They're not pleasant, right? Now,
It's
not
9
all,
in the morning. Why are you telling me this?
because this leads to my positive beef tip, okay?
I want your tips.
The reality is we don't need to be psychic to know that, every day is a blessing, right? So you got to live every day and make the fullest of it. So enjoy the people around you. Go out and enjoy your life and just live good.
Says
right?
the guy
live
that's going to have 2 weeks off and be at the beach.
Yeah, that's right there. You know what? I'm just trying to justify it, yes.
I hate
all right. You never the apocalypse is happening. Get blackout drunk on tequila and hook up with some random MILF, all right? Bye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Bye. Is it your nickname, Random MILF, yes? What's up?
When you wish upon a
That's a good way to save me, too. I was getting way too Bono on that.
I was about to give you my glasses.
Yeah, so we'll be back in 2 weeks, dude. Thank you guys for watching, as always. Babuski.
I will knock out all
That's how
your
you win.
teeth.
Yeah.
That's how you go on vacation.